Now, the Scottish National Party have been holding their annual conference in Perth today, and shortly before we came on air, I asked Scotland's Deputy First Minister NICOLA STURGEON what she made of those figures Newsnight had obtained.
Well, the figures that I've seen that you're reporting tonight simply confirm and underline the view of the Scottish Government. HS2 will be stronger, the business case for it will be stronger if it comes to Scotland, if it links up Scotland and England. But also the benefits to Scotland obviously require it to come to Scotland. That's why the Scottish Government is talking to the UK Government to make sure that the proper planning is being done to look ahead to when it can come to Scotland. And we'll continue to work very hard to make sure that that happens. And I think these figures that we're seeing tonight really do reinforce and strengthen the case for that.
But as you know, Aberdeen could lose 220 million a year, 1.3% of GDP. Dundee and Angus loss of 1.9% of GDP if it goes ahead as currently planned. So do you then oppose it as currently planned if it's not extended to Scotland?
Well, obviously the figures that we are seeing tonight are of concern, and these are figures that we have now seen, but they back up what our concern has always been, that if you have HS2 that only goes as far as the current plans, then that will be to Scotland's disadvantage. That is why we are arguing so hard, and we've been talking to the UK Government. We're currently in the process of trying to finalise plans for a study to look into linking Scotland and England. So it's very, very important that that work is done and that we have commitments from the UK Government along those lines. But I think there's also another very important point. The business case for HS2 is stronger if it includes Scotland. And we know the government south of the border is already under pressure from people worried about the project, worried that it might be over budget, that it's not being managed as well as it could or should be. So it's really important that they have as strong a business case as possible, and the business case is stronger if Scotland is included. Now,
you were very clear in your announcement today about what you're intending to do about energy costs. You plan to take the green levies off people's bills and pay for it through general taxation. I mean, isn't that a bit taking it out of one pocket and giving it to the other?
Well, the announcement I made today was about two specific components of the energy bill: the energy company obligation and the warm homes discount, the components that pay for energy efficiency and help some of the more vulnerable customers. Now, the problem with having these components levied on the energy bill is that everybody, regardless of their income, regardless of their financial position, has to pay that. And we know the pressure people are feeling from rising energy bills. So if we take that out of the energy bill and fund these schemes centrally, then we can cut the pain of the energy bill. But there's another advantage as well. It means that we can better integrate and better join up our energy efficiency schemes. Right now, the Scottish Government provides about 80.
You have to raise taxes. You have to find the money somewhere.
Well, no, we're not proposing raising taxes. We will budget, as we do for our existing commitments as a Scottish Government, to make sure that we prioritise this, because energy efficiency schemes are very important. Well, in an independent Scotland, of course, there'll be other revenue sources that currently go to the Westminster Treasury that will come to Scotland. The emissions trading scheme revenue, for example. So we'll be able to take the budgetary decisions that allow us to prioritise the things that matter. But the important 2 points are that it will reduce the pain people are feeling from energy bills, a 5% reduction in energy bills, but it will also allow us to have energy efficiency schemes that are more integrated. The point I was going on to make was, right now we fund energy efficiency schemes to the tune of about £80 million directly from the Scottish Government. Another £120 million comes from ECO through the energy companies. That actually makes it quite difficult to organise and deliver these schemes as effectively as we would want to. So this is a common sense solution that I think people will welcome.
Well, another common sense solution that's been debated a bit at Westminster today is whether we should all just put on an extra woolly jumper. What's your advice?
Well, I think that is the comment, as I understand it, that came from a Downing Street spokesperson. I mean, that would just signify, if it's true and that comment was made, that would signify a government that is deeply, deeply out of touch with the pain that people are suffering from energy bills that are going totally in the wrong direction. So what we need are common sense, level-headed solutions, and that's why the announcement I've made today, I think, will be welcomed across the board.
That was NICOLA STURGEON speaking to me from Perth a little earlier.